Netflix is going to release a documentary called The Redeem Team on October 7th. The executive producers for this documentary is LeBron James and Dwayne Wade. The producer for this documentary is John Weinbach, who was also the producer for the famous documentary The Last Dance that detailed Michael Jordan's final season with the Chicago Bulls. So this documentary is about the journey to win the 2008 gold medal for the USA basketball team. For those of you who don't know, prior to 2008, the USA suffered some embarrassing losses in basketball after they had won their last gold medal in the 2000 Olympics. In 2002, they got embarrassed in the World Championship of Basketball. I think that's what it was called. It was a FIBA championship basketball tournament where all the countries of the world participated in to play for the championship for who's the best in the world. And also, if you won that tournament, you got an automatic Olympic berth. So what happened in 2002, Team USA got embarrassed in that tournament, and I think the tournament was in Indianapolis, if I'm not mistaken. So it was on U.S. soil, and that team did very poorly. I just remember it. Just they lost to Argentina, and they also lost to Serbia. So it was pretty embarrassing. They got humiliated during that tournament, and it was just like the first loss, at least in my lifetime, where I had seen Team USA basketball lose with professional players. Granted, it had never happened before, so it was the first time ever this had happened before. Just we all had this illusion that if we put NBA players and send them to any tournament, whether it's the Olympics or just FIBA World Basketball Championship tournament, that they could beat any of these foreign teams. It didn't matter that the NBA players were just so much better. They were just like 100 miles better than even the best European player or foreign player. That just even our second tier players were just better than theirs by that much. So I think there was a level of arrogance and probably delusion, you could say, back then, just of how good we truly were. And we didn't really respect the rest of the world at how much they had gotten better during that time period, that they were starting to rise up and produce legit talent. Manu Ginobili would be one of those guys that would make his debut, I feel, when he took down Team USA in that in he I think no, he didn't eliminate them in the 2002 tournament, but he handed them their first loss when it came to losing as professionals. So he started to establish a name really by beating them. That's really what put him on the map. And they lost to Serbia, I believe, in a qualifying game, so they got eliminated in that tournament. But still, you saw guys like Ginobili rise up through that, especially in 2004 when Ginobili embarrassed them in that qualifying game which if they had won, I think they would have advanced to playing the gold medal. So again, they got embarrassed quite a few times. And then in 2006, they were playing another tournament where I believe they lost to Greece. They lost to this guy whose name was Sophocletus. This guy was like the Greek version of Shaq. He was fat. He was actually a black guy, just fat, out of shape, but he schooled them. So there was a lot of doubt going to 2008 if this team was going to win a gold medal. There was serious doubt because they had gotten embarrassed the last several years following 2000, and no one really believed that they were going to win or they were guaranteed to win a gold medal. So there was a lot of doubt heading into that tournament. They obviously ended up winning the gold medal. I think they beat Spain in a close game from what I recall. It was very close, but they pulled through in that game. So what do I think about the documentary? I think it could be interesting if they detail all the events that happened before 2008 to build it up and to just go through how they were able to put together a winning team after all that, and what they did to overcome all that doubt, and just how their strategies of just how they were finally able to get over the hump against teams like Argentina. Like, what did they do different than 2004? That could be interesting. I'll give them that. But do I find this documentary I would say inspirational, like the 92 Dream Team documentary? I'm gonna say for myself, no. I'm on the older millennials, so I didn't really look up to this team in any way, to be honest, like I did to the '92 team, because '92 I was just a kid. The '92 team was my first introduction really to basketball, so that team was special and it holds a special place in my heart just as a basketball fan. Just that team was just like a heavenly team filled with so many legends that just you're still in awe that these guys got to play together. 2018 doesn't really have the same feeling from that perspective. Just it just doesn't. But they were a really good team. I give them that. I think for older millennials, I don't think we look at them the same way as we look up to like the '92 team. Maybe for the really younger millennials at the time who were just becoming teenagers around that period of time, they might look at that team with great reverence. I'm sure for Generation Z, this team was their first introduction to basketball, so I'm sure that team has a special place in their hearts like it did for older millennials way back in '92. But for me, it's just they're a good team, but I wouldn't say the best Team USA team in my eyes. Granted, no team compares to the '92 team, but I would say the '96 team was also better than them. Just that team was amazing. But they're a really good team, and their legacy, I guess they can claim that they brought back championship basketball to the U.S. when it came to winning golds, because the U.S. hasn't lost an Olympics since 2004. So they've been on a streak now where they have won the last 4 or 5 Olympics in a row, and that team started the trend. But I'll say this, if you look at it, the world has caught up so much more now that you have to send really the A-list of Team USA's best basketball players to win. If you don't send the A-list, there's a high chance you'll lose, or it's going to be very, very close like it was last summer in the Olympics that Team USA barely edged it out from what I can recall. So I don't have anything else to say about it. Will I watch this documentary? Probably not, but you never know. Maybe if it shows up on NBA TV randomly, I'll watch it. But I'm not really into seeing this documentary unless I see it late at night, on TV and I have nothing else to watch. So that's the way I look at it.